Hardware used in this video was provided as part of the XREAL Insiders program.
Hey folks, welcome to another AR video. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the future of augmented reality, the present of augmented reality, and the past of augmented reality. Not too distant past, mind you. We're going to be talking about a specific brand, but before we get to that, I just want to mention the Apple Vision Pro comes out tomorrow, which is primarily going to be a pass-through augmented reality device for most folks. And what I'm seeing with that device is kind of a bulky device that you put on your head that is extremely pricey at $3,500 or higher. And it's on the Apple ecosystem, which is something that I use Android, unfortunately. So it's not something I would regularly utilize. I don't have a MacBook. I don't have an iPad. I don't have an iPhone that I regularly use. So I'm not as excited about that particular product, but I'm very excited and passionate about both the current devices that are on the market and the future devices that are coming on the market from the company XREAL. Now, I've featured XREAL. I am a XREAL Insider. I have access to their devices through that program. I have access to some of the staff that I can talk to through that program as well. And right now, my go-to for using glasses with spatial displays, as they describe it, are these right here, the XREAL Air 2. Now I've got a cover on the front of these right now. If I pop that off, I can see the screen now in front of me, whereas if I have this on, it darkens everything to a point where it's very comfortable and very natural to see a brightly lit screen in front of me in both of my eyes. Now, what I like about this particular cover is it's got this little lip on the bottom, so things like my shirt with the previous iterations of the XREAL glasses would reflect up into your viewing area, and it would kind of be a little bit less immersive because of that. But if I plop this on, I can watch anything with a nice dark view. I don't even see the screen in front of me where I'm filming right now. I do see things in my peripheral vision off to the sides, but it's very natural. It's like I'm looking at a giant screen in front of my eyes. Now, I keep talking about it being a screen in front of my eyes. Typically, when you're viewing things through these glasses, you're viewing them in what's called 0 DOF, or 0 degrees of freedom. There's not any panning and tilting, there's not any yaw, there's no real, you just got a screen that's mounted in front of your eyes. But if you take these glasses and you add either a smartphone running a program called Nebula or one of these little boxes right here, the XREAL Beam, you can actually have what's called a 3 DOF experience, or 3 degrees of freedom. And that allows you to move your head left and right, up and down, and you can actually see either the screen follow you and move with you, the screen stay fixed in one place, and you can move up and down that screen, or turn to the left or right and talk to someone else in the room and not have the screen in front of you. Or the third functionality that this little box or that the Nebula app offers is the ability to have a side view where you can see in one of 4 quadrants of your eyes a smaller view window, and maybe you want to go out and walk around, but you also want to see a little view like a HUD almost in front of one of your eyes. You can see that way. Now, with the darkened cover, I would not recommend going outside because you're not going to be able to see much of anything at all. But if you take that cover off, you do have basically dark sunglasses basically in front of your eyes, which is pretty good for use case of walking around a park at dusk or something of that nature. If you're in bright sunlight, they're probably not going to work too well either way. But the other thing about this little box that I really liked is the fact that you can sideload applications onto it. So I actually have a ton of entertainment applications on the little box, as well as some productivity applications and some gaming applications. And they're all on the XREAL Beam. You can just plug it in by the USB port to your PC, and you can drag and drop files. Or you can download files yourself through websites like beam-io.com. XREAL-Apps.com, which is run by the community and administered by the folks that created X-Ray Glass, which is one of my favorite subtitling applications that's available for the XREAL Air glasses. So this little box and this pair of glasses actually have helped me a ton, even therapeutically, in the past few months. I had a leg injury back in September. I missed a step while I was in New York attending a press event, landed on my leg, and badly bone bruised my shin. So I had to keep my leg elevated and iced for a period of months. It was not an easy healing process, even though I didn't break any bones. And what was cool is I could wear these glasses in bed at any viewing angle, have great entertainment, have a great distraction from the pain, and even do a little bit of work using productivity apps. I have some Microsoft 365 applications on here, and I could use my little folding keyboard for that and, you know, type and do other things. I could access my computer using Parsec. I could do a lot with just this little box and this set of glasses. And I could switch to side view and even change out my ice packs and walk around with them as well. So very, very helpful in a period where I was pretty badly battle damaged, if you will. So this is currently my go-to set of glasses and little box here. And if you purchase them together, the retail cost is under $500. Now, there are 2 additional models of the XREAL Air 2 right now that are on the market. The XREAL 2 Pro adds a self-darkening mode using electrochromic dimming, which will give you 3 different dimming modes. But I find that this darkened cover right here gives me the darkening that I want if I want to be fully immersed in the picture. And taking it off gives me what I want when I want to have the ability to see through the glasses a bit. So I don't really feel like there's a need for that additional cost for me. If you're into the technology though and you want to click a button and see that dimming happen automatically, it's pretty cool to see. And you may have a use case where you need to have 3 different levels of dimming to function throughout your day. Maybe your business has different lighting brightness in different areas or things of that nature. So that's an option for you. And the third option is the XREAL Air 2 Ultra. Now the XREAL Air 2 Ultra is something I haven't yet had the opportunity to try, but it is the successor to this device right here, the XREAL Lite. Now, one of the things that I love about the Air series is the USB-C port is right here on the glasses, and there's a detachable USB-C cable. And the reason I love that is because the XREAL Lite, the first device that they came out with here, has a hardwired USB-C cable. And that cable, if it goes bad, you need a new set of glasses. And that is not cool, I'll just say that. But these have a slightly different form factor, as you can see. If I pop the cover off, you'll also notice that there's a camera right here, a camera right here, and a camera in the center. Those cameras, if I lean in here, you can see those cameras are doing things like slam detection, which allow you to see objects that are mounted in place in your room and interact with objects. It's got hand tracking built in. It has the ability to use your phone as a controller. And you can actually do things that are true augmented reality. I built an application that was simply a world globe that rotated around. And my intent with that was to build something that you could update. So you could have an always accurate globe. So if territorial lines or if country names or things of that nature change over time, your globe is always accurate when you look at it through your AR glasses. And it can also be as big or as small as you want. Other applications have come out, but few and far between. This was picked up by around 10 to 15,000 developers, and the application selection is a little bit lacking. There's only probably 60 to 80 applications available right now for the XREAL Lite, and it kind of died off in the past couple of years where people started developing their applications specifically for the Air series. And I wasn't sure, would they bring out a successor to the XREAL Lite? Because this is actually what got me into this company in the first place. I went to an exhibition with my friends at FXG, and at the time the company was named XREAL. In fact, if you look right here, it says XREAL on the arm of the glasses. The reason for that change was because there were some lawsuits. XREAL sounds a lot like Unreal. Unreal is a trademark right now of a company called Epic Games. And the folks at XREAL were doing more than just their original XREAL Lite glasses were doing. But the first time I tried the XREAL Lite, as it was called back then, was at a art exhibition, and I could actually walk through people's tilt brush creations, and it was trippy and amazing. So I want to thank again the folks at FXG and XREAL for giving me the opportunity to try that stuff out. 2018, I believe it was, that I got my first taste of the future according to XREAL. So the reason I bring all of this up is because I feel like that XREAL Air 2 Ultra, which brings all of those features together, is really going to better meet my needs than something like an Apple Vision Pro. And the cost for everything all together, if you buy one of these with a set of the camera enabled on the sides, Air 2 Ultra is going to be under $1,000, whereas the cost, again, of a Apple Vision Pro is $3,500. Now, is the fidelity going to be better on the Apple Vision Pro? Absolutely. Is there going to be a larger screen? Yes. Do you have the ability to do more potentially with the Apple Vision Pro? Yes. But most of that functionality is actually available in a sunglasses form factor using a small compute unit. And if you want a little bit more functionality, you can plug it into a PC or Mac, a Samsung-based smartphone. So whether you have a Samsung S22 or S23, those are the two devices right now that are fully supported by the XREAL Air 2 Ultra. They'll run Nebula, which is that application again that allows you to do more than just have a screen in front of your eyes. The other thing that the Ultra support is hand tracking. Very similar gestures are available, as well as waving, as well as other things that aren't available with the Apple Vision Pro. Now, the one thing I do want to preface is the Air 2 Ultra is primarily geared toward developers. Those applications that came out for the XREAL Lite still going to run on the Air 2 Ultra, but there's not a lot of other applications available right now. Like, they're not going to come out with 400 additional applications, whereas, again, things like the Quest 3 with pass-through augmented reality or the Apple Vision Pro are going to have a whole suite of applications that already exist in their ecosystem. I will stress, Android applications, you'll be able to see that screen in front of your eyes, but you're not going to be able to do all of those gestures and things of that nature unless you have an application that's directly designed for it. But what I'm excited about most about this line of products is, again, the form factor is fantastic. The visual fidelity of the screens, while they're only 1080p, it's a big screen in front of my eyes. It's exactly what I would want. So if I'm watching sports or science fiction or any type of entertainment, it's right there in front of my eyes. I've gone to events with these, and my wife has worn them because it's not events that she's super into, and she participated in a movie night while I was at a sporting event one time through the glasses on Discord. So she was able to communicate with folks on Discord as well as watch the film and be within that element while we were at an event. And what was cool is there's like a giant jumbotron. She said that the screen in the glasses was actually as big or bigger than that screen. So it was very cool to have that type of an experience anywhere you want to go. Super portable, almost pocketable. And again, at a price point for the base model, these two products of under $500. It's my go-to at this point. I would rather use this to consume entertainment than the Quest 3. And the reason for that is because the Quest 3 is a little bit bigger and it's bulkier. It gets more weight on my head. The weight of the glasses alone is around 80 grams or less for the XREAL series of glasses. That's substantially lighter than any of the VR headsets that I have, or even things like the Magic Leap 1 or the HoloLens. Much, much, much more bulky. So this is what I think the future looks like. Do I think it's there right now? Is it perfect? It's not perfect, but it's good enough to experiment with, and at a price point that I think is well within the means for a lot more people than committing to $1,000 or $3,500 for purchase. So I wanted to talk a little bit about a product that I'm passionate about, talk a little bit about the reasons why I'm not spending $3,500 and running to an Apple store this week, and just hopefully get you excited for this type of a product in the future. If you're not into having a big screen in front of your eyes on glasses like these offer today, and you don't really care about building for the future with tracking cameras for slam detection and things of that nature, maybe it's not the right time to invest. But if you're curious about the future, going as low as $399, you can pick up these glasses, pair them with your smartphone or your PC, and have a fantastic experience. I do also want to urge, if you're interested in developing for this platform and you don't want to commit to purchasing the $700 XREAL Air 2 Ultra, at the current time, the folks at XREAL are selling as their kind of final sale the original XREAL Lite glasses. And those glasses are compatible with the SDK. You can still develop for them. They're going to be a bit bulkier. Cameras aren't going to be as good. Screen's not as good. Like it's all a little bit lesser. And the form factor is a little bit different as well. But overall, you'll get a very similar experience in development. So they're right now $399, which is an incredible price. I paid a little over $1,000 for a developer kit when they first came out, but it's been a number of years now. So if you're into developing for this type of platform, that may be a safe and economical bet. If you're looking for something that's a little bit more advanced with more VR, obviously you're going to look at something like the Quest 3 or even the Quest 2. But this form factor, this style of presentation, the displays in these things, man, I love them. And I wanted to shout them out again. I know I talk about the XREAL glasses on a frequent basis, but I'm excited about their new product. I'm excited about these, which I've had for a period of time and haven't mentioned. Like, I've had these for a few months already, but I've been injured and using them as opposed to talking about them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back with more content soon. Until next time, get out there and enjoy some AR, VR, or other realities for yourself. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.